And in the meantime, let's go to Senekal in the Free State. One of two men accused of killing Free State farm manager Brendin Horner, Sekwetje Mhlamba, intends approaching the Bloemfontein High Court to appeal a decision by the Senekal Magistrate's Court to deny him bail. His co-accused, Sekola Matlaletsa, was granted bail of 5,000 rand. To discuss, we're joined by SABC reporter Palesa Moeti. Palesa, thank you for being with us. First, set the scene, please, inside and outside court today, because we know that Senekal has been the scene of violence against police perpetrated by those demonstrating farmers, then political demonstrations when the EFF was there last Friday, racial tensions as well. Just what was it like today?
Well, those scenes where there was a lot of action were really not there today. Today it was just absolute peace outside. However, there was a very strong police presence. Added to that, a roadblock is set outside, has been set up rather outside Senekal. And I can say that almost each and every car there was stopped, checked, and, that whole process. It actually gives you an idea of what has been happening in Senekal. Police want to make sure that there's nobody that comes into the town that perhaps has some or other motive. Even inside court, a heavy police presence around Magistrate John van Rooyen. Every time you would see heavily armed police, escorting him in and out of the courtroom. So very tight security. That is what was very clear today.
Right.
However, none of the groups that we saw last week.
All right, so police are not taking any chances. Then tell us about the actual proceedings. Why did one suspect get bail and the other not?
So what I can tell you is that Magistrate John van Rooyen actually said that the reason why he would not want to give the second accused, or rather deny the second accused bail, was because he could not be linked, via DNA to the incident. And number two is that he does not want to prejudice him because his only source of income at this point in time is a disability grant. And if he was to be kept detained, that disability grant would be stopped. So because of him not being linked directly or, not having physical evidence that links him to the murder, that's why he was, granted bail of 5,000 rand. Now, as for accused number one, the magistrate went through various points that actually influenced his decision to grant him bail. And those included him having told lies at some point in his statement, or rather in his interaction with police. There was a time when police had to go and search. They had a search warrant for his shack, and he actually said that the shack is locked and he does not know where the key is at that point in time. And eventually police found out that, in fact, the shack was not locked, and they found 2 pairs of trousers in a freezer. Those pairs of trousers had blood stains on them. They have been taken in for DNA analysis, and those results are still outstanding. But the big issue for him, where that makes the state feels like, or rather the magistrate that has convinced the magistrate that there's a prima facie case against him, is that his girlfriend's statement actually revealed that the night of the murder of Brendin Horner, he was with his girlfriend at some point, and then in the middle of the night when his girlfriend woke up, he was gone, and he only returned at 4 a.m. So that issue, the magistrate says he has to account for that.
All right, and this DNA evidence is still being collected, right? Because the magistrate at one point saying that the state's case currently was weak. Just tell us a bit more about what they do have or don't have, what they do know or don't know.
Well, the state is at this point relying on witness statements. One of the witnesses has told police that he overheard one of the suspects at a tavern boasting about having assaulted a white farmer and having robbed him and showing off his wallet, So that's what the case, the state at this point is relying on. But in terms of DNA, those results are still outstanding. And the magistrate actually expressed his frustration that, at the moment there is a delay at the forensic laboratory in Pretoria over, just all the DNA samples. He actually said that this delay could go on for like 6 months, up to a year. Sure. So for him and for this particular case, it's quite a big frustration that, this case will actually be delayed because of DNA samples or DNA results that seem to be at the center of this case. There's a heavy reliance. Even the NPA admitted that they rely a lot. They're going to have to rely a lot on the DNA results of, all the items that have been taken in.
All right, thank you for that update. 6 months to a year, a very long time to wait for all the people following or with an interest in this case. SABC News reporter Palesa Moeti.